Hello, and welcome to RecSport Education. I'm Ryan Shanahan, and today we are celebrating in tribute to a renowned dance instructor, Ron Montez. And I have a very special treat to share with you in his regard. But before we get to that, let me quickly recap who it is we seek to honor. From dancevision.com, Ron Montez was the first ever dance vision instructor, was one of the most respected personalities in the dance business. He previously held the title of the 7-time undefeated United States Professional Latin Champion. He achieved 4th place in the World's Professional Latin Championships held at Royal Albert Hall in London. He has reached the finals in the prestigious British Championships in Blackpool. Ron was recognized as a world-class adjudicator, dance coach, and choreographer in both American and international styles. Among his many accomplishments, including those already listed, he is also a former co-host and expert commentator for the PBS television show Championship Ballroom Dancing 1997, former co-host for America's Ballroom Challenge 2006, choreographer for the Fox television show So You Think You Can Dance 2005, a recipient of the 2009 United States Dance Championships Hall of Fame Award, and a Dance Vision Master Examiner. As it's reported from dancebeat.com, we all got the news last Sunday, January 24th. Ron had been in hospital for many days following his diagnosis. Despite reports that his condition was improving, there was a sudden relapse yesterday, from which he did not recover. Ron touched many lives, and there are many who have related wonderful stories about him. For my tribute, I'd like to share a bit of my personal experience with him. I was a student studying dance education at Brigham Young University, Idaho. Ron was a regular visitor on campus. He would come at least once every year and was friends with the head of the ballroom dance department. During his visits, Ron interacted with the ballroom classes and also judged performances and gave instruction. I still have a stack of papers with his notes and ratings given to me when I performed for him during my own classes back then. Ron was larger than life for many of us at the dance department, at least he was for me. But he never made himself out to be this great figure. He was always so casual and didn't take himself seriously. And these were some of the semesters I looked forward to most, knowing that he was coming to visit and offer instruction. And now for that treat I promised you. Back in 2010, during one of his visits on campus, I was working on my senior project, a publication on the comparison between dance instruction and life lessons, titled Lead and Follow: Life Lessons Through Dance. I asked Ron if he would sit with me and interview, and he graciously agreed. We sat and talked for more than an hour on all things dance, and he shared many of his candid thoughts on the subject. For my purposes, in transcribing some of his words, I provided an old tape deck tape recorder from the 90s. I think I bought it at about 16, which is just to say it was a very inadequate piece of technology for recording such an interview. But at the time, I wasn't thinking about the quality of the recording, just that it was enough for my current work. When I heard about Ron's passing, I remembered back to that old interview. I dug through some boxes, and sure enough, I still had the recording. I present it to you now in its unedited form so that you might have some of what I learned and experienced from the mouth of this master teacher. This is a very degraded recording with dance classes going on in the background. I've provided subtitles to accompany the audio to make it easier to follow along. The interview records for about 14 minutes. The rest I was not able to recover. This interview was not scripted, and the questions given were not pre-screened. So it represents a most honest and open dialogue on the subject of dance. It's raw and even shows a certain vulnerability that I respect. Ron, I can't thank you enough for the fun and learning that you provided for me and others in my class. I've kept your lessons close and I share them as often as I'm able. And that is my tribute to you. It was an honor. And now for the rest of you, please enjoy.
Okay. When you enter into a dance partnership, there's yourself, there's your partner, and there's the music that creates this triangle that you work within. So really there are three major elements: a man, woman, and the music that interact with one another to produce the dance. Now, what you're producing, this dance step, this dance movement, this characterization, foxtrot, waltz, rumba, whatever it is an entity on its own. And what happens is, we don't treat it that way. We take everything personally. So basically, when we criticize the creation of this third thing, this dance we're producing, and look at it like a project that we're both working on. But what happens is couples say, you did this, you did that. So the accusatory, you made a mistake, you led me the wrong way, you didn't follow me, etc., etc. So and then you take that comment personally. So therefore the dance ceases to be fun because you're being attacked or criticized. So really, when you go into practice, it has to be, you're going to be less sensitive about that, and you're going to both participate to create this positive third thing. Also, criticism to one another should be in a tactful way. I like it when you lead me this way. It makes me more on balance. When you spin me using this type of connection, it's a lot better. I like it. I like that. Instead of all negative. Now, I prefer that this lead over this lead. I prefer this response that you do over this one. So the language you use is quite important, because you say, well, you did it wrong. Well, that wasn't right. You see, those are blunt kind of comments that can be taken quite personally. So really, when directing criticism is how you frame it. And the criticism itself has to be towards what you're creating, which is not you. And her, it's not that, it's a separate thing. You're creating a little piece of choreography, a little choreographed item, you know? So, a lot of times when married couples work together on a project, let's say they both have the same business. That business has to be business-like. And so what I'm saying is really be more business-like when you're, even though the dancing you think, oh, dancing's not business. Dancing's emotional, that's fun, it's passion, it's all this. But that's not right. That's not absolutely correct. If you approach it in a tactful, business-like manner, your practice will go well and still be enjoyable. I'm not saying treat it like a robot or some kind of cold thing. You're still going to get the fun and enjoyment out of it, but you're trying to progress and create something. You're not just out there doing a social dance, some evening at a party. When you practice to accomplish something, it's really different, a little more stressful than it can be. Dance partners, like married couples, fall into certain traps. And those traps can become habits. Those habits create anxiety, stress, and eventually the partnership splits. Well, you decide to stop dancing, or the fun's gone out of it, or blah, 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 right? So, the traps can be several things. To say you're working on one step, which is only one piece of the whole routine, then you do that step to death, then that's not looking at the overall picture. You're going to have to move on. You're going to have to be less critical and less analytical at that point for the sake of a good practice. Like in marriage, like any good partnership, you have to appreciate the qualities, the different qualities that you have that are not like yours. I mean, I choose a partner because she's the way she is, and I have to continue appreciating those qualities. not try to correct or change them. That can be a problem. So really, the practice has to have a goal also. Today we're going to do Foxtrot and Waltz, and we're going to try to get through all of them. So we're going to dance it through without stopping to pick on or analyze. So you have to have a form that you kind of follow. Warm up, dance through the dances, and then work on the parts that need correction. But I think warming up and dancing through the dances, even if you're dancing separate, not connected, just to reinforce it in your mind, to get your mind in that framework of that dance. You need that little transition period. Some people transition from one thing to another quicker than others. Others need this little warm-up time. I needed the warm-up time when I practiced. I couldn't go out. Okay, this dance finished, go this one. I had to kind of like, okay, what does this dance mean? What is it? That's why the smooth was good for me, because I would put on the music and dance by myself for a few minutes. And then get together with my partner. And my partner could dance by herself for a few minutes. Not get together, boom, So, there's a lot of things that can go right and wrong, but a very important thing is to create good habits in practice. In my particular personal situation, marriage-wise, I'm not giving any big secrets here, but when we get too lax in our treatment to one another, in other words, if I'm always treating this person in a respectful way, and like I love him, and his return, we'll have a good experience. Because I'm a professional teacher, I've been teaching for over 40 years. So if I get my wife and start teaching her, it's not a good idea. First, we need to dance. We need to form a little rapport with one another. Then, because I'm the professional, so to speak, I will make suggestions for her. And I'll also compliment her. So really this, my wife says, we're getting loose. And loose means we're getting a little careless with our exchange. And then I say, okay. But I'm not perfect. And there are times when I get picky and I get, the teacher mode sets in, which a lot of couples that I work with, they're both teachers. And all day long they've been teaching students. All day long. Most of the day. They didn't get to practice together, and what happens? They start teaching one another. So the practice falls apart right away, because they don't want to be taught. They want to work together and do something. And teaching one another is not going to do it. So they have to switch from, this is my partner, not my student, even though I may know more than my partner. It's not going to work to walk into the practice thinking, I know more, therefore. So, some of those things are transferable to just regular relationships. Some aren't, but, I see a lot of couples having troubles, and they're very easy to see. That the couples are more or less floundering. Kind of a careless one thing or another. Are you guys still dancing?
How you doing?
He goes at 5. Well, dance is totally encompassing. And most people, when they're dancing, can't think of anything else. Not so with other forms of exercise. A lot of times they'll go to the gym, they'll run, they'll jog, they'll do the treadmill, whatever, but they can still think of business. Their mind is pretty capable of thinking about their daily problems and tribulations. But when you're dancing, you've got a full plate. You've got your part, you've got your interaction, you've got the music, you've got so many things. You're using your mind and your body, not just one or the other. Therefore, it is a beautiful form of diversion from everyday life, and it's very creative, satisfies a lot of things, it produces exercise, and it's something that a man and woman can share together that no other activity really matches up. In dancing, a partnership, you're not competing with one another. You're assisting one another to create something. If you play tennis, you're competing against each other. Play ping pong, there's still that competitive thing that's going to kick in there. Cards, yes, it's going to kick in there. You know how some people are naturally competitive and that's what they do. And others into, that. So, it really offers a couple so many things. Older couples are a mild form of exercise that is healthy in several respects. For young couples, even here in Idaho and Utah, a lot, there's a lot of little kids that get together. It's a great form of associating with the opposite sex in a very healthy way. And so that is just a ball dancing can do. Because the kids here, they're not shy of boys to go. They talk, they communicate, they hold hands, they take dance position, and it's great. They get comfortable with members of the opposite sex. You know, I get this weird kind of aversion, this thing, because in athletics you're going to have boys teams and girls teams, but it's not many sports where they're all together. I never said I was going to be U.S. champion. That was just me because I thought it was good. Some people say, I'm going to be champion someday. And that's great. That's the motivation for me. I would never say that. It's just my personality. But I would practice like I was trying to be ability. So my formula is bit by bit, day by day, going in skip to enjoy the process. If you want to be good, you have to practice. For it all to become all to work in the best way, you have to enjoy practice. So if you don't like practice, you better become it. Because you're not going to become really good without enjoying practice. Practice